What's up guys, my name's Tom and welcome back to the FPL Centre. Time for the latest in the Player Spotlight series where we take a quick look at the underlying stats and the upcoming fixtures for a few players who have come into form recently or are being talked about within the FPL community as potential transfer options this week. Now as always, if you like the video and what I'm doing here with the FPL Centre, give the video a thumbs up, get yourself subscribed if you're not already, and make sure to hit that notification bell as well so you know when the latest video drops. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Before we get into the main player spotlights though, I did say to you guys that I would do a transfer strategy video over the international break. Now unfortunately I didn't have enough time to do that, but here is a little section on what I'm looking at as far as the transfer strategy goes. So the first idea is pretty simple. It only requires 3 moves and would leave me with 0.8 million in the bank. So the idea is to roll the transfer this week and then mini wildcard to something like this in game week 15, where Kane, Sane and Felipe Anderson would come in for Aguero, Hazard and Brooks. I could even do Brooks to Anderson this week, as I have 2 million in the bank there to cover that, and then I could take the -4 on the other 2 moves in game week 15. The other idea would be along these lines, so again Kane in for Aguero here, Dele Alli would be the one to come in for Hazard this time, and then Callum Wilson would be out for Lacazette to come in. In this case I would roll the transfer this week as well, make the Kane and Alli transfers as free transfers then in game week 15, and bring Lacazette in game week 16, hopefully as a free transfer there as well, you know, hopefully no other injuries happen or anything along the way, so that I get Lacazette in for the Arsenal fixture turn that starts in game week 16 with Huddersfield at home there. So that's the 2 ideas I'm looking at and kind of playing around with there. Let me know in the comments what you think about those moves that I've got in mind, but let's move on now and have a look at a couple of the key players for game week 14. So first up, we have to talk about that man Leroy Sane. Benjamin Mendy is out until February, and straight away we see Sane coming into the starting lineup there for Manchester City and explode with FPL points. Sane has now continued his run of returning attacking points in every game he's started this season and ranks ahead of the likes of David Silva and Richarlison for total FPL points, despite game week 13 being only the 6th start that he's made in the Premier League. Now we all know from last season how explosive Sane can be, and if he does have a more assured starting role due to the absence of Mendy on that left hand side, he could be a fantastic option over the busy Christmas period there. Currently owned by 5.8% of FPL managers at a price of 9.3 million, the German winger recorded the most penalty box touches among midfielders in game week 13 with 12, and all 3 of his attempts on goal came from inside the penalty area too, the second most shots in the box taken among midfielders on the weekend. Of course, when you look at the season as a whole, Sane's stats won't rank that well in comparison to other midfielders, simply because he hasn't started as many games. But from game weeks 5 to 9, where he started 3 out of the 4 games there, Sane ranked joint first for penalty box touches among midfielders over that period, tied with Salah and Sterling on 41. He also tied with Sterling for shots in the box with 8 over that period, the joint 5th highest among midfielders there, and that's despite playing just 14 minutes in game week 8. Now, I'm not convinced the next 4 fixtures are that good for Manchester City, with away trips to both Watford and Chelsea there, as well as a home tie against Everton, who have done quite well defensively of late. But this is Manchester City we're talking about, and any one of those games could still end up being a huge win. They just look that good lately. Another player receiving a lot of attention within the FPL community following his exploits on the weekend is Son Heung-Min, and rightfully so after a very impressive display that included a wonderful individual goal there against Chelsea on the weekend. Spurs as a whole look to be back at their best with Kane, Son, Ali and Eriksen all playing together, with Lucas Moura dropping to the bench. No midfielder had more attempts on goal from inside the box than Sonny Boy in game week 13, as he recorded 4 shots from inside the area with an additional 2 from outside the area as well, hitting the target 50% of the time across those 6 attempts. Son also ranks top of the midfielders when it comes to big chances, as he saw 3 come his way on the weekend, and he ranks 4th for penalty box touches too, with only Leroy Sane, Henrik Mkhitaryan and Anthony Martial recording more. As impressive as he was, it's only 1 game though, and one thing to keep in mind here is that Son has only started 4 games all season for Spurs, not even featuring in 5 games and coming on as a sub in some of those others, so you have to ask yourself if you want such an uncertainty as part of your FPL team over the Christmas period, where owning a full squad of starters can be vitally important. This is not even the same thing as someone like Sterling being rested here or there, where the chances are he's not going to come on if he is rested and you've got a substitute coming in, because the chances are that if Son is on the bench, he will make an appearance at some point, and that leads to a chance of you just picking up 1 point from him there. So this is an 8 million asset who so far this season has not been able to hold down a starting role, and I think that's an important thing to keep in perspective. Another important note here is that Son will be taking part in the Asian Cup in January. The likelihood is that he will meet up with his Korean teammates in mid-January to feature in the later part of that tournament, but it does mean that the nice fixture run Spurs have there will be cut basically in half if you opt for the Korean over the likes of Dele Alli and Christian Eriksen in midfield. Even so, with that nice stretch of fixtures between now and when he does leave for international duty, including home games against Southampton and Burnley over the next 4 in particular, he definitely has the potential to return a good amount of points over that period, but only if Pochettino decides to stick with the starting lineup that looks so impressive on the weekend. Just take a quick look at the team now, and it was 69 points for game week 13, a great score there in a week where a lot of people scored down in the 30s and 40s from what I've seen. It means that we're now on 821 total points and the overall rank is up at 34k. Now that's the highest we've reached all season as far as the ranks go, so extremely happy with that and hoping to continue the upwards momentum in the coming weeks. Patricio failed to keep a clean sheet against Huddersfield, conceding 2 goals there, but still managed to return at least 2 points by recording 3 saves to pick up that extra save point. Lucas Dean and Alexander-Arnold both kept clean sheets, and Trent of course scored that lovely free kick for Liverpool, picking up 2 bonus points as well. Alonso and Doherty both disappointed though, and just a 1 point return from each of them, although Doherty was extremely close to an assist on a Jimenez goal, only for goal line technology to show that it was not quite over the line. In midfield, Martial blanked but got a clean sheet, so giving us 3 points there. Hazard also blanked and got himself booked, so just a 1 point return. Brooks recorded an assist and looked very dangerous against Arsenal, even having a goal wrongfully ruled out for offside, so I'm very happy with his 5 point return for sure. Up front, Sergio Aguero and Callum Wilson both blanked for 2 points, so nothing from the forwards there, but it was Raheem Sterling with a goal, 2 assists, a clean sheet and 2 bonus points as our captain as well, meaning that we got a total of 32 points from him. Absolutely amazing score. We'll quickly check in on the league now as well. We haven't done so in a couple of weeks and it's all changed it seems. Gokul Nath, I don't know what's happened mate, but you've dropped down to 3rd place there after leading for so long. A disappointing game week of 40 for him as a non-Sterling owner. I wonder if we'll see a move to bring in a City midfielder from Gokul in the coming weeks. He's been overtaken by both Ryan Gita, who moves into 2nd place, and the new leader in Alex Ciobanu, representing Romania. Both of those guys scoring over 80 points this week, both with Sterling as captain as well, so fantastic scores guys, well done. Although Alex, I saw that you did take a -4 there, but yeah, just the 1 point between you guys now at the top, it's incredibly close. So very interesting to see how this all pans out over the season. As for me, I'm up to 47th now in the FPL Centre Mini League, still climbing the ranks slowly, and I think I'll be happy to break into the top 10 at any point this season. So I think that's going to be my goal for the season. I can't really see myself catching up to a point where I'm going to, be looking to win or anything like that, but top 10 in my own league, I think I'll take it. So there we go guys, later in the week I'll have the fixture breakdown video as usual with an in-depth look at the key fixtures from an FPL perspective, who's in line to benefit from those opposition weaknesses, plus also my team selection and how I'll be lining up for game week 14. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to keep up with everything I'm doing here at the FPL Centre, and make sure to hit that notification bell as well so you know when the latest video drops. Let me know in the comments how you did in game week 13 guys, and if you're planning any big transfers this week. And remember, the transfer strategy section that I commented on earlier in the video, let me know what you think of those moves that I've got planned there. That's all from me today guys though, thanks for watching.